Hi guys, my name is Bankole Akintujoye. I'm your host on the Failure Diaries Podcast TFD. I'm happy to be here again, as usual, with my co-host Precious Kate.
Hi everyone, welcome to Failure Diaries Podcast, where we give you raw, unfiltered success stories and the challenges behind the stories. A lot of times, you know the names, you know the success stories, you know the good things. Today, we bring to you the real stories behind these names.
Yeah, so we let you know the other side of success, what toiling day and night looks like, what burning candles look like, whatever challenges that you're going through that is giving you a breakdown or mental, whatever issues, we are letting you know that you're not alone. People that you look up to, or even everyday people at times that we bring here, they share their stories with us unfiltered, no holds barred, so that you are aware that people go through these things. It's part of life cycle and you can get out of it. Today, I have somebody who is my mentor. She's been my mentor for such a long time. She's a role model to as many HR people as I know. She's a role model to as many women, as many professionals that I know. And she's just one of the most incredible human beings on the face of the earth. Please, ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Lola Esan.
Anyway, that's a simple set off.
Welcome.
It's not the same.
Welcome to the show.
But I think that's where I'm going to. No, don't let me start from there. Let me start from the usual place, which is tell us about your story and how you got here. What were the points of challenges, not so rosy, etc. on your way up?
Like, we also like to know what she does and what she represents.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a good one. Maybe I'll start from what I do. So I help organizations unlock value in their human capital. I was very deliberate not to say resources, because resources you can waste, you can lose, you can fall short, but capital is something that can be built with the right investment. Right. So I help organizations maximize value out of their human capital.
I think you have helped her a lot, because I would not finally see your helper.
Oh my word.
Not just me, she's helped an incredible number of people. Okay, you were not on the episode with Babajide. We'll get there.
Okay. All right, please go ahead. Thank you.
And that's okay, but So what's that thing Davido said? We rise by you.
Oh my God.
You say on the way to top, I'm still there. I'm not there yet, man. When I'm there, I would know.
No, please don't be humble on this show.
I get there, I would know. But anyway, story is short, right? I think like anyone else, raised to have the right grades, raised to be told that, hey, if you do it right, you would obviously get everything. I think I've been fortunate in terms of I haven't had what I'd consider setback per se.
Okay.
But I've had a lot of lessons that have shaped who I have become or who I'm becoming. And I'd even say some of the lessons have come from very unusual places. But since we're having this conversation in the context of what I do, I'll probably talk about one of the founding stories of my outlook to life and careers. So I went to the only university in Nigeria, University of Ibadan.
Oh God.
Thank you, our fans.
And it was great school, as you know. Finishing top percentile in class meant you kind of assume at the time that everything will happen. So I'm not going to do free advert for anyone, but you know how back in the day, there's some firms I would come in and do exams, all of this stuff. So I said, I'm just going to go through school. I won't waste my time after the grades are there. So a group of us got together, went to take the exam for this particular one, and you know that one because we ended up, our journey ended up being one of the things that unites us, one of the things we have in common. And I think in a group of us about 7 or so, I was the only one who didn't ace the test.
Wow.
And a lot of people don't know that part. But it was so humbling because it was a question of, okay,
wow.
You say you're sharp, but it's not you, right? Yeah. But I think what then happened was, yes, of course, I felt my own private sad moment and all of that, but I made up my mind that I was going to go after a particular place, or put it this way, grace, God, and then me do what I had to do.
Motivation, so, like it's kind of motivated you to do better. or to
Kind
do
of,
more?
but I also rather than so I got over the failure. You felt bad and all,
Mm-hmm.
and then maybe because some people didn't make it during the interview process.
So you don't.
So my secret was safe for a bit.
Yes.
But what I then did was I spent time on just following the company, looking for what they do, what they look out for, and then of course I had great help along the way in terms of what it would take to get in there. But by the time I eventually made it to that company, it wasn't by the exams that didn't matter anymore. It was by invitation. I only had one conversation and I got in.
Wow.
So I think for me, it's a question of, it's really not how fast sometimes. And I think
Yes.
sometimes we struggle, and particularly now, right? Social media, everyone's doing so well. Look at this man, he's doing podcasts, having me, and I'm supposed to be his mentor. And I so you see, that fear of
that escalated quickly.
Sometimes
I didn't see that coming.
sometimes, we track our progress with what someone else is doing. As
Sure.
they say, it's a comparison is the tip of joy. So,
Yeah.
Exactly.
so I think I have learned to so that has shaped me. So even when I want something, and I've had many private disappointments, I think I'd be looking at by now I should have this, and it hasn't quite happened. But what have conditioned myself is okay. Well, it's a question of maybe God hasn't said no, but it's a question of not yet. And I kind of distract myself by focusing on what would make me, one, identify that opportunity when it comes up.
Okay.
Two, making sure that when it eventually happens, I'm ready. And I can see many aspects of my life where that has kind of come to play. But I think since we're talking career, that's one of the biggest obvious ones where this company, everyone converted. He'd even know that part. That I flunked that
Yeah,
exam.
yeah.
So,
But it's not only career we're talking about. We're still going to
Yeah, we'll
get to the
talk-
personal
I mean,
side.
no worries that we were here.
And like you can chip it in, like while talking career, you can chip in some personal. We are here
so,
for it.
So because I don't want her to leave, when we spoke with Baba Jide, I said I was going. In fact, that was when the light bulb moment hit me that we needed to bring her to this. So, secrets. I've used Lola for too many things in my life that anytime I'm doing something new, I always not want to call her first because she'd be like, oh God.
Like, and he's always Lola.
We started my boot camp in 2018 and she has been at every year except I think last year. I think
year,
you're not
Mhm.
allowed. Fellowship, she's there. So even my entire team, they just know that, oh God, you are going to stress this woman again. But that was the first time I knew that Baba Jide, meanwhile, shout out to Baba Jide, is one of the stars in the tech ecosystem.
Yes, so
Baba Jide told us that he was amazing, similar to what she just said. He did fantastic as a copper in PCL, and then he just assumed that because he's done well, he's a smart guy, he would pass the test and he would get in.
You get it.
Right? And he did not. Right? He failed the interview and they sent him his rejection mail.
No way.
And it was on his set that they started that process of retesting coppers even when they had said.
The failure must have been something.
It hit him bad. He was at his bottom. And then Lola was leaving the firm. And Lola went to meet the chairman. And the chairman asked Lola that, oh, what is one thing you want me to do for you? You've served us so well. You are just so kind. And this chairman, his social capital is tremendous. So Lola could have asked anything. And guess what? Lola told him that what you can do for me is to call back Baba Jide. And Baba Jide said that till today, even Lola cannot remember, but till today, he feels that was God giving him a second chance that he will never have again in his life. But it's the truth. At times, those inflection points and second. So my question to Lola is, what came over you at that moment? What drove that? And aside that, what is it that drives you to continuously just influence and impact people's lives the way that you do?
I was going to say that, like, because from our introduction thus far, it shows that it's not only Baba Jide. It's something she loves to do.
So, I'm grateful Baba remembers it and says it so often. But honestly, I'm here because people gave me their shoulders to stand on. So everywhere, if I think about everything I've had to do in this life, because I had and there are times when people were speaking for me, even in rooms where I did not enter, or I wasn't there, or I didn't even know they're talking about. And even till today, what I do, I still have people speaking for me. So I don't think of it as, when they say, what's that one wish? If I'd asked for money, maybe I'd have gotten the money and it would have, but I guess it was a question of impact. And we make the mistake thinking that impact can only be from maybe someone very senior or older.
Yeah.
I remember that cohort where Jide was in, because even though I was still young in my career then, I was more or less like obviously supervising what they do. And that group was particularly very inspiring. Yeah, you would think, okay, well, but they are younger than you, but they inspired me a lot. Their work ethic. We had a particular project that I was project manager, and they had to work with me on. And honestly, the sheer energy, the way they carried this thing on their head, the professionalism, these were guys just straight out of uni, demonstrating work ethic that you felt, or they probably were in some place where they had been given a training. So to let that kind of talent or skill or dedication leave, because as you know, most of these recruitment processes are not 100%. They are foolproof.
Yes, they are not foolproof.
You know, I can be having a bad day. It can be a question of me not jiving with the person. It could have been anything. But to actually let this guy leave because of one activity would have been a great disservice to the firm.
That's right.
So me being on my way, was also my way of leaving stuff behind. And honestly, I've carried that with me any day. Yeah, we use exams to assess people because we need something. But it's important to always look beyond. And Jide, as you said, is one of them. Jide is a superstar, right?
Exactly.
Jide is my mentor.
Please,
so
this is not the place for that.
I think for us, it's just that fact of, let's see people as human beings.
That's right.
Let's not see people as, if you don't fit this box, then you're not like this. And so let's stop labeling people. Because remember, you didn't pass an exam. It doesn't mean it has ended. Like in my own case, I failed an exam. I thought, oh my God, I'm supposed to be a superstar. But I was able to build on it. So for me, it's really that thing about community. Yes. I still have friends and people from way back, and we still manage to connect. And I think that's really the only way the world gets better. You know, by the time we're old, we made all the money. You know, I just saw Ayo's G-Wagon outside. You know?
Please, this is camera. Don't let me think I made it. I've not made it. It's not my own. No. I was just in front of it.
No, we're speaking it first.
Exactly.
So,
Jesus name. Amen.
You know, you can get the G-Wagon to match your outfit for today. It's really those connections you make. But most importantly, I would like to say, by the time my time here is done on earth, that every single person I've impacted, because I don't know, I may have, is able to continue to stretch it forward. Because that's the only way you can really make the world better. It's not about the money, it's about what you can do with this. So, and then again, I don't even remember the details around it, but I'm just glad that he took that opportunity, he used that opportunity, he's still using it, and he's such an evangelist.
Yeah.
Jide spends his time helping people, impacting people, sharing knowledge. So if by that small action of saying, do this for me, not only did they get to keep a great talent, but it's also shaping in a way. So I will take that anyway, and I'm grateful for that. But
Absolutely. So that brings me back to our trademark question, which is, and I think you just shared one, but that was maybe on the professional track. Now let's talk about the personal, socio-personal side. What would you see is if it's only one or if it's more than one, is the biggest failure or tipping point or challenge that you've had so far on your journey? Was it a boss? Was it a job? Was it a disappointment? That kind of thing. And how did you get over it, or did you not even get over it at all?
So maybe I'm not supposed to be on Failure Diaries Podcast because I don't see anything as failures.
Well, fair enough.
And trust me, when I say
lessons,
I've had experiences and all. So it's like, I put out a post recently, sometime a few months back on LinkedIn, saying that a lot of us complain about the bad bosses we've had. And trust me, everyone's had one of those, right? But what sometimes in retrospect we only acknowledge is they had to play their part for you to become who you should be.
Exactly.
If they were all nice and all whatever, then you won't have the lessons.
Exactly.
So I think that's one point for me. So when it comes to career and what I've done, I've been fortunate that I've worked in some places with some people that have tried me. I've worked with some people that, in fact, I had to develop I'll give you the example. So I had this particular manager who just could not say the truth for the smallest things. Wow. And I didn't understand why.
Some people are like that.
And you're so senior, I'm so junior, but in everything you want to do, it's like you want to set me up. But I didn't see why.
Can you imagine?
So for that particular person, I got so petty as to when I send this person an email, I said, before people now had all the prompts on Outlook, I would set read receipt. I would set, so I was keeping a log. You got it, you didn't read it. You cancelled it, you didn't do this. Because person always lied about how, Lola didn't get it across. She didn't do this. And I was like, don't come and kill my career very early. So when one of those meetings where there were people senior to that person, the person was about to table how Lola was the one that did not, I just said this one. I don't mean you today. So I said, I sent it by yes, so and so and so and so. You did not read it. You deleted, you did not do this. That was the last time the person tried me. But what I knew then was I'd started a battle and there was a target on my back.
Oh, wow.
So it also forced me to now become above board at all times. Because you know what will happen? The person is looking for my Achilles heel,
Exactly.
and the person will take aim.
So you must always know that
in
it's a chess
protecting
game.
my back, it helped me in sort of
Constantly ahead.
And also in a way challenged me to become the type of professional that I am.
Wow.
I'm not the most organized person, but when it comes to a commitment I've made to a client, to a person, I carry it on my head.
Exactly.
So that forced me to become that way.
And
So that was
is the
one
principle.
bad experience. And then I say to people again, I also had a manager once, even though I've worked in great places. Like I said, there are no bad organizations, as you know, there are bad managers. I've only worked in great places, no exceptions. But I've had stints where I've had individuals who were not just quite it. And one of them, for example, he got to a point where I almost started, when you start doubting yourself. And there's no job that is worth that. Even they're paying you in gold bars. There's no job worth staying at when you start doubting yourself. Because you are just a step away from a mental breakdown.
Yeah.
But you know what, again, that experience did for me, even though I went through the pain every day, I would go, my God bless my husband. He would hear all sorts.
Amen.
Shout out to barista lawyer.
He would give me a coping strategies. He would, all sorts just to get me through the pain. But what he helped me do very early on was help me decide the kind of manager I will not be. If you talk to anyone who's had the chance to work with me, I can be hard, I can be firm. But I would not take away your confidence. I would let you make your mistakes. But it's like there's a rope on your back. I would draw you back just when you're about to tip into that pond, because I know, okay, if you go down, then it's the team going down. So many instances, but I don't see them as failure. And then I think I'm also fairly content.
Exactly.
So I'm not comparing.
Yes, contentment.
I'm not comparing where I should be. I'm not. I think everything I don't see it as anybody owes me anything unduly. And at this point in time, even when I believe I'm not where I should be yet, like I said, I kind of focus on what are the things I'm not doing right, or what would get me ready, such that when the opportunity comes, I can easily just snap it up. So that's really how I shape, and that's my outlook to life and how I live my life, really.
Wow.
I'm trying to sink it in.
Honestly, that has been amazing. Like, I feel like you have lots of positive things to say. So it's not because you're not going through these things, but the way you have decided to the way you have decided to see life.
You have let it exactly.
Yes, the outlook you put is so inspiring. Well
and
done.
I think that outlook is extremely important. And that takes me to my next question, which is a lot of young people these days, and I think you mentioned, for example, when we didn't have Outlook forms, and those tools, a lot of those tools are out there now that are very good for efficiency, but also very tempting for laxity. More or less, like people are a lot more fragile
lazy.
by the day. I don't even know if lazy is the word or
Fragile.
So when they are in situations where there's a difficulty, either a stretch from a manager or a stretch on a job or whatever it is, before you know it, they flip to the other side, they say, the depression, they exit this place, that kind of thing. What is the lesson from you, or what is the message for you from them to them?
So I think these days distraction is making us less resilient. People easy to just flip. I think the first thing is everyone should know what their limit is. And I think everyone should spend time knowing at what point will I say it's enough. When they say
Your threshold,
what's your threshold?
Yeah.
I think it's important. As I mentioned, no job is worth losing your value system, your personality, your happiness,
your
faith,
integrity,
your health for. There's no point, and these days we glamorize the hustle culture. I haven't slept for 3 days, so you're supposed to be really good. So I think the first thing is, one, not all jobs are right for everyone. I mean, as you know, you and I, we love professional services, but the honest truth is, it requires a certain type of human being to work there, and it's okay.
And that's what I tell you when I interview them, that this work.
It's not, it's okay.
Hard.
It's okay.
It's hard.
It's okay. You have to sort of one, know your limit. Two, you also have to have mentors. And a mentor is not always someone you sit down with. A mentor can be someone that you're looking or understanding their life from, the things they do on social media, whatever it is. And then I think, even though I'm not there yet, right, we also need to learn to give work to work, and prioritize the other things. Because as you can see, when all this glam around the job and the title you hold is gone, a lot of people are afraid of sitting in that silence. The only worst they have is when they were CEO, which is why, I mean, I'm probably going to get a knock on the head for this, but it worries me when I see people's LinkedIn profile with X this, X this, X that. You are not X anything. Who you are today is who you are meant to be, you know. And if you keep, and I think that's the biggest problem. You're measuring your worth and your value system by the status or the title or the role or the company you work at. And as you know, the company would always decide what favors it one day. So one day you may not have a job.
So basically, invest in yourself. Maybe.
Invest in yourself. Invest in relationships. Invest in family. Prioritize yourself. Constantly, you know, like how some cars will release a new model after and they just change the light or something. So constantly
evolve.
That's the word. Constantly evolve. That's a good word.
Yes.
Wow. I'm so glad that you finally came. You know, I'm glad that I finally invited you to come.
And thank you for coming.
And thank you for coming, even though you have a million and one other things to do. And thank you for all that you do for us, and you know, me and all my friends and all our community members,
and we your fans.
You know, I have a lot of clients, people who are always their HR always come. Oh, you know, I saw on your picture. Oh, because of that, you think I'm a good person.
Oh God.
Like, oh no. I don't know. I'm not. I don't put me on another pedestal. I'm a bad human being. You know. So thank you so much. I'm glad that we could do this, and I'm glad that you shared your story. But how is family life been? Have you had women? That's my last question. Have you had?
Did I have one more?
Women specific challenges? Have you had challenges with, you know, raising family, with combining
work? Yes.
Services? So, and you stayed there for this long. One partner.
Put it this way. A good support system is everything. As a woman, please. And that's
even as a man, please. Even as a man.
And that support system is also who you're in a relationship with. I don't think my wings would have soared this high, but for my life partner. I think let's just leave it out there. That is my biggest support promoter. Then we don't call them in-laws. I think my family, which I gained by marriage, you know, I can get them to cover for me, drop kids, do that. And then my mom in retirement decided that, okay, I'm her next project and her grandkids. So there's that on the support system.
But I've also,
you know, it's been recurring on our podcast.
It's everything, honestly. And then also paid help. You know, I'm not trying to prove anything to anybody. Kudos to my support system at home who are paid for what they do. You know, sorting me out, getting kids done, all of that, taking me around from place to place. But then there's also the support system around having strong members or strong women who inspire me. So I'm a member of Whisker, Women in Successful Careers. It's an NGO, but provides structured mentoring program for young women, mid-career, and then senior level career professionals. And I think Whisker came into my life at a point when I was doing a transition. I just got married, just had my first child.
What year was that?
It was no, let's do that.
Okay.
Let's do that.
3 years ago.
I don't want to tell people my age.
Is it because she's looking like?
Well, I'm telling you.
I don't know my age.
But I thought you wanted to say, like 2 years ago.
I wish. So it came in at the point where I had to make those decisions, and honestly, that chaperoning me through that was helpful. And I realized a lot of people don't have that.
Yes.
So it's important. Now, being a woman, as you mentioned.
Please, can we put our team members in that Whisker?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Every year, there's always a call for applications. Every year. So the other thing is, as a woman, as you know, as an African woman, there are stereotypes and expectations.
Exactly.
Me, I don't believe that work-life balance is possible. It's integration. Because if you say balance, think of it as a skill. One tips up, one goes
One
down.
goes, yes.
And I want to be a career professional, and I want my home to be happy and to work.
Yeah.
So it just means it's a balance of sometimes you give some 60, sometimes you give some 40,
Mm.
sometimes you even give the 2 0 because
Yes.
you're prioritizing yourself today.
Mhm.
So there's that. And then in terms of the career journey, I mentioned I've been fortunate with every single organization I've worked in terms of opportunities, promotion, and all. But sometimes I had to quickly resolve. Some people might not like this, but it's still very much a boys' club around everywhere.
Yes.
So I have resolved, and I'm happy with the agreement that to some people, I may not be nice because I don't fit the mold of what they expect me to be. I just be quiet and sit down there and wait. So I have learned to ask for what I think is my due. So what was that can happen? No.
Yes.
So I think every single career woman generally needs to learn how to ask.
Ask.
That's the biggest. The worst that can happen is no.
Exactly.
But learn to ask. And then most importantly,
Rema.
if
Yes.
you have been fortunate to have had opportunities like I have in places where I've worked with family support system, please also have a group of people that you are bringing and not gatekeeping the insights, so that more people, and that's how we create a society,
A family,
that is
yes.
thriving.
A community,
That's it.
yes. Wow.
You said you add one more before we close?
I mean, I wanted to add, but I feel like she has just like you've just found a way to say everything, because I wanted to ask for what you would say to encourage people. But I mean, you've done a lot of encouragement. Thank you so much.
Thanks. I'm
Thank
glad.
you
Yes.
so much.
Thank you so much for your
coming
time and
again.
for coming.
Thank you.
God bless you, Lola. God bless you for
Amen.
And thank you for being
Thanks for
open
doing
to
this.
us, like being able to say those things that, I mean, we will not usually hear. So we appreciate that.
Thank you.
And we
so
hope
much
you
for
come
having me.
again if we invite you.
Is that you now? Are you all dragging out?
So thank you so much. Our viewers, we love you just as much as we love our guests and we love ourselves as we should.
Yes.
See you again on another episode. Bye-bye.
Bye.